Hello and welcome back to Daily Number Workout. I hope you had fun doing it on your own and allowing it to be challenging in a way of making your brain think in many ways with the number six. So we're going to quickly go through all of our number six categories. So the first one is the word form, and hopefully you all spelled that correct. Six, S-I-X, six. Make sure it's nice and fat so you can see it. All right, so six. Then the multiples of six, you had to think about that. So 1 times 6 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 6 is 18. 4 times 6 is 24. 5 times 6 is 30. 6 times 6 is 36. 7 times 6 is 42. 8 times 6 is 48. 9 times 6 is 54. And 10 times 6 is 60. Now remember, if your paper did not have all of these on there, just plug them in somewhere. Don't erase, don't try to worry about it. Just put them in somewhere. Always leave a little extra space on your paper in between all these categories. So if you need to add, you have room to add. All right, our next category is factors. And we just live and learn. So don't worry, just find a spot to put it on. Factors. So let's start off with, of course, 1 times itself, which is 1 and 6. So I always spread it out so I know I have room to add. All right, now let's ask ourselves, does 2 go into 6? Well, absolutely. Any number that's even, and 2, 4, 6, or 8 goes into, 2 goes into them. So 2 times what is 6? 2 times 3. And then we notice there's no other numbers between 2 and 3, so we're done. Always tells us when we're done. That's so nice that it does. So let's talk about if it's even or odd. And of course, any number that is divisible by 2 is even, or ends in 6 is even. So let's write the word even. And then we're asking ourselves, is it prime? Is it prime? And so any number that is just has factors 1 in itself. Well, this has more than 1 in itself as factors, so it is not prime. So all we've marked is that it's even. So we're done with that. Now we're going to start working out fractions, which equal decimals, which equals the percents. So take your time if you have not gotten to that part. You know, I don't want anybody to worry. Sometimes our buses are late, or sometimes things happen in the time span that you're given. So here you are, you can fill it out. So let's go start with our first one, which is 6 out of 100 days of school so far. 6 out of 100 days. And or this is represented as 6 hundredths. So we can write underneath that 6 hundredths. Always ending in our TH because it's not a whole number, it's part. Now we look at this and we see the 2 is a factor of 6. Well, 2 is also a factor of 100. So we're going to divide both of these by 2 to get an equivalent fraction. So divide by 2, divide by 2. So 6 divided by 2. Well, what times 2 equals 6? And that would be 3. So if we divide 6 by 2, we get 3. If we divide 100 by 2, 2 50s make 100, right? So our equivalent fraction will be 3 50ths. Now we're going to go back to our original fraction to get our decimal, 6 hundredths. So there's nothing in the ones place. We put an and there. That's going to divide the whole numbers from the partial numbers. And then we have 6 hundredths. So there's no tenths. There's 6 hundredths. So this would be 6. Oh, I'm sorry. 0, 0, and 6 hundredths. Hopefully that's not too small. And we put THS on there because there's more than one. And we're going to give our equal sign. So here we are at the store again, and they're offering 6% off of every item, which would be 6 cents off of every dollar. Good job. Let's move on to ratio. Again, ratio is all about comparison, and we're just following our pattern here of fractions, decimals, percents. Ratios go right along with that. So 6 to 100 and 6:100. Very similar to the fraction 6 out of 100. All right, let's go for dollars and cents. And our decimal form at the top of our page, or right here, helps us to write the dollar and cent. So let's start with the dollar sign. We have $0.06. So we would write that $0.06. Looking good. All right. So now let's move on to our next category, which is area and perimeter. So we're going to draw, well, first we're going to write down area equals width times length, and perimeter equals width plus length plus width plus length. And this is a quadrilateral. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. So that's what we're basing this on. We're just making quadrilaterals or squares or rectangles at this point. So here we go. We're going to create our 6 squares. Take your time, make it nice. Doesn't have to be perfect. So this is 6 across and 1 tall. So we're going to do 6 times 1 equals, so this is the area. 6 times 1 equals 6 square units. If we do the perimeter of this, we have a 6 plus 1 plus 6 plus 1 equals 14 units. If we do this again, but this time make it vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Making it vertical. This would be a 1 by 6. So area on this one would be 1 times 6 equals 6 square units. We can clearly see there's 6 squares. The perimeter would be a 1 plus 6 plus 1 plus 6 equals 14 units. We've just changed the order, but we did not change the answer. Now, guess what? 6 has another way. Since we have more factors to 6, we can draw it also like this. I'm going to put it over here to save me paper. So we can draw it like this. 3 across and 2 down. Because if we use our factor pairs, 3 by 2, we have a new one. Area equals 3 times 2, which equals 6 square units. When we do the perimeter of that, oh, the perimeter is going to be totally different since we've changed up how we arranged our squares. So we have 3, 2, 3, 2. So this would be 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 equals 10 units. So the distance around this rectangle or this rectangular unit is less. It would cost us less money to fence in that yard compared to these long, skinny yards. So more fencing would be needed here than over here. And again, we can change that one up to be stacked differently. So this would be, and I'm just drawing it out for you, a 2 by 3, which the area of that would equal 2 times 3 equals 6 square units. And the perimeter would be the same because we would add up same 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3. All right, this one's getting trickier. Might need more paper, might need the back of your paper. All right, so let's move on to volume. Volume, width times depth times height. All right, so let's do the one across. Six across. We're doing the vertical. And again, we're doing those diagonals off the back here to create our cubes. So this would be a 6 by 1 by 1. So volume on this equals 6 times 1 times 1 equals. So our 6 cubes, I'm going to give you a visual here. Here's the 6 cubes. We drew them out. Equals 6 cubic units, no matter how we do it. So we're just going to do that. We're not going to do this one vertically too. We'll just do it like this. Let's do the other one and see what comes up. So we have them stacked 2 rows, two rows. So we're going to give you that perspective. Okay, and this is a 3 by 1 by 2. Is it going to work out the same? Well, volume equals 3 times 1 times 2 equals, well, 3 times 1 is 3 times 2 is 6 cubic units. So there we have it. So this would be, instead of that way, it would look like that. All right, 6 did good. I hope you came out with the same as me. I know some of this might be a little new, so hopefully you got it all jotted down on your paper and you can use it as a reference. So I'll see you tomorrow for the number 7.